How you doing, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning into another exciting episode. I'm here with Nightmare Rising, who is not a Viking yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. It's coming.
It's coming. He says it's going to be in a few weeks, but he's not going to let it overgrow this time.
Not during the summer, anyways. It'll go back to Kratos levels after the summer.
So around winter time, that's what you're saying?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have this amazing guest with us here live from his vehicle, Mr. Heathen. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, my guy? How are you, man? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. I mean, I know you're on the road all the time for your concerts and tours and everything, but man, how does it feel to be on the Reef podcast here, my guy?
Pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. I like this little podcast. I've been watching you, and I was like, ooh, I got to get in there.
you gotta slide on the DMs, huh?
Yeah, you got to be in there like swimwear.
So, if you don't mind me asking, tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you actually coming from, and just give a description of you.
Well, I'm the Heathen. I'm known for my antics and my, we won't call it trolling. That's too harsh. We'll call it antics, further antics. And right now, I'm mobile. I'm somewhere on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
We decided to leave our wonderful house in Vegas and try out the East Coast for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
So we're out here and enjoying vacation / break from the stream life. And why we go ahead.
I was gonna say just basically being taking care of IRL first before you actually dive back into the streaming world.
Exactly. Real world took a precedence for a little while.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So from what we actually did our research on from you, like you used to be in the military, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
I was active duty for about 9 years.
Gotcha.
I got out at the end of 2019.
Well, I mean, you're actually talking to somebody that used to be in the military here, my co-host here, so he'll be giving you a hard time when it comes to military branches and different things, so I'll let him take the mic for this right now.
It depends on which branch. It depends on.
I was about to say, as long as he wasn't Navy, we'll allow it.
I was Army, so we're good.
Okay, we're good. I was Army as well.
Okay, so see, I can't get in trouble.
Okay, so
maybe the MOS.
Okay,
that's about it.
Okay, so there's not gonna be no fights here unless we get a Navy guy. That's what you're trying to tell me. If there's a Navy guy, then there's gonna be like a little argument.
I do believe there is somebody in the Navy that's currently lurking on our live stream on Twitch.
Oh, gotcha.
Of course they are. Navy guys, they're looking back, bro.
But don't forget as well, Nightmare Rising, that we're also live on Rio as well, and we also want to give a shout out to Hype Unit, which is actually the TikTok agency that currently actually got me involved. So shout out to them as well. Shout out to all the Discords and people that have actually come out to every episode so far. We're actually on our 37th episode of this edition of the podcast, which is unbelievable. I never thought we would actually get this far. I mean, we're about to hit our 5th year next year, and my God, the lineup next year, that's all I gotta say. I gotta shake my head like, my God, there's a lot of good people coming up. But everybody's actually unique in their own way as well, because I mean, they all share experiences. I mean, that's what the main goal of the podcast is, to not only promote content creators that are already established, but the small ones as well that deserve recognition for their hard work. So you, Heathen, you've been recognized by the Reef podcast.
Appreciate it. We needed the air horn in there.
Oh my God. I'll get that air horn eventually to actually be in person right here and press it right here on live on the podcast. But okay, so first question, what actually made you actually decide to stream? Like, what was the motivation behind it?
Well, it's funny. I haven't been streaming like that long compared to like 90% of my peers. I really started taking streaming like seriously probably March of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then I hit affiliate around the same time. So I've only been affiliated for about a year, but it was kind of off of a whim. Like, I wasn't even really gonna stream. I was just like, you know what? I'm playing some video games. I think I'm okay at them. Let me stream it and see what happens. And then eventually we grew and grew. We're almost to 2,000 followers on Twitch. So we got big really quick in a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, yo, this is actually pretty cool. Like, I could do this. And then building my community and everything, and just being able to build relationships with my community and fellow streamers like yourself, meeting you at TwitchCon last year.
Unfortunately, my co-host couldn't be there last year, and we're gonna plan to try to be there next year for sure. But I mean, we'll see how everything turns out. I mean, we might actually do like a small little meet and greet eventually as well. Like, you know, if we actually start getting like, you know, a lot of devoted fans that are like, hey, we want to see who you guys are in person, and of course we'll bring merch, and we try to like, you know, give everybody we can like, you know, a piece of our merch as well that get interviewed, because I mean, you guys are very like, you know, valued over here. Like, we appreciate always like every time that you guys come in and take the time to actually like, you know, devote yourself here for 45 minutes to an hour interview, and we appreciate you all a lot.
Well, you give us the platform to do it on, so the appreciation is in return.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Nightmare Rising, you probably have a couple of questions for him right here, so I'll let you take the mic while I actually interact with our fellow viewers. So here you go.
So first question I have, what made you pick the name Heathen Streams?
So I actually went through, I didn't start out as Heathen Streams at all. I was originally, back in the day, there's only like a handful of people that know me as Mo Pagan, but that's what I started my brand as, was Mopar Pagan. I'm currently sitting in a Ram. I'm a Mopar no car guy. So that was kind of how Mopar Pagan came around. And then being the Heathen, it has multiple like meanings to it. Not only for like me being a heathen and like, because I like before I was saying, saying that I troll is a little too harsh, because I don't do that. There's nothing I do maliciously, but I do like poking fun and, you know, I don't want to say getting a rise, but it's like I poke fun at the stuff that doesn't matter. Like, people take too seriously, and I try to joke with them and stuff like that. So that's really Heathen. I'm a heathen. Like, in real life, I'm a heathen. All of my tattoos are for heathenry, or at least my entire leg and my chest. And then the streams, just, I mean, that's kind of self-explanatory with the streaming and everything.
Gotcha.
It just sounded good.
That's awesome. So we already have a question coming in from Little Nightmare saying, what actually made you want to go to TwitchCon last year?
I think it was more the fact that I had people that I really wanted to meet up and see there. We had that little group that we were talking on in Discord for a hot minute. If TwitchCon wasn't in Las Vegas last year, I probably would not have been there, but because it was so convenient for me living in Las Vegas at the time, I was like, how can I pass up this opportunity to meet some amazing people and have fun for the weekend? I mean, you guys came over to the barbecue. That was a lot of fun.
Not just a lot of fun,
shout out to the guys that...
Hey, the one that deserves the shout out for that has to be your wife, Mama Heathen.
Oh yeah, Mama Heathen and her cooking, bro.
Yep, Nightmare.
Said, all right.
Nightmare. If we ever actually meet at a TwitchCon and Heathen is there and he lives in that area, you best believe you better go have some of Mama Heathen's food, because my goodness, that food was amazing. So yeah, shout out to Mama Heathen. Shout out to you for the amazing hospitality as well for that day.
Heck yeah, man. Well, you guys are family now at that point, you know?
Dude,
So...
it was just crazy because for me, it was the TwitchCon after San Diego. So I was like, okay, I mean, I've been to Las Vegas before. It sounds fun, but I mean, dude, last year was just unforgettable. Like, I'm never gonna forget that, just because you meet, like, when you actually meet so many people in person that you actually have been acquainted with online for so long, and you finally meet in person. It only makes the bond stronger, you know.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be hard to top last year's TwitchCon, that's for sure.
Absolutely. All right. So I know he asked you about your name and everything like that, but what is the first game you actually streamed? Like when you actually launched and you're like, okay, I'm gonna try this game. I mean, if I had to guess, it's probably Fortnite, but I could be wrong. What was it?
You are wrong, sir.
Okay.
It was actually Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Really? Okay, that I did not know.
That was the first game I ever streamed. And it was actually like I was already probably 90 hours into the game by the time I decided to stream it. Mm-hmm. So like I had most of the updates and everything, and yeah, it was just me messing around on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, going around murking some Knights Templar and stuff like that.
Assassin's Creed is just in another level when it comes to gaming. I mean, there's so much things you can do and so many side quests that you can do. That's the joy of having a single player game, is because you're basically diving yourself into that main character and being that character. That's what makes it unique.
Oh yeah.
And the games evolve.
Yeah. And like every year for around Yule time, Assassin's Creed Valhalla actually does the 12 days of Yule, and they do a little Yule festival in your village. And that's around the time I started streaming, was for the Yule, and I was doing all of the Yule activities around my little village.
Now, I know you're a big Assassin's Creed fan, but did you know that X Defiant is thinking about adding an operator from Assassin's Creed?
I swear to God, take my money.
No, I basically told myself, if they add Ezio, I'm gonna lose it, because that was like my favorite assassin out of all of them. Ezio.
Oh yeah,
Ezio was my favorite.
Ezio is definitely. I feel like if they do, because you know how on X Defiant they've got 4 like skins or operators, whatever you want to call them, per faction. Mm-hmm. So they should do Ezio, right? They should do the main character. I forget his name.
Altair
from Valhalla. Altair from the very first one, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then who was the one from Assassin's Creed Mirage?
Man, that's a good question.
Oh God, I can't remember.
Because that one was, even though that Assassin's Creed got a lot of hate, I enjoyed it. That was a really good Assassin's Creed.
I haven't touched that one yet. That's one I still.
It's really good. It's a slower play. It's not like, you know how like Assassin's Creed 3 or Valhalla or really any of the other Assassin's Creed, you kind of get through the main story. Like you can fly through it in probably like 15, 20 hours realistically.
Yeah, if you pushed it, yeah.
Yeah. Mirage, you can probably do it in like 5. Like it's the story's a lot shorter, but it's just, I feel like they put more time into the landscape and into the visual of the game than they did the actual like storyline, if that makes sense.
And isn't there a new one coming out really soon that's actually based off Japan, apparently?
I think so. Yeah, it's based off of the Black Samurai, I thought.
Yeah, which is actually really. Yeah. It's gonna be really interesting how they're gonna do that one, because I mean, every time I see a new Assassin's Creed, I think please go back to the original gameplay of 1, 2, and 3, like, because I always loved those. I mean, don't get me wrong, the newest ones, Valhalla and all them, they're awesome, but you can't compare them to 1, 2, and 3. I'm sorry.
You can't. Yeah. You cannot.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Because
not at all. Assassin's Creed 3 was probably the best one.
I agree. That one. I mean,
yeah.
I do have to ask this, because we're seeing a lot of these single player games like Fallout and Skyrim and all that getting the online versions. What would you guys think if they did that with Assassin's Creed?
I mean, they did that with they had a multiplayer for
Black Flag, didn't they?
That and Brotherhood. Brotherhood had online.
Yeah, I'm saying like just a full online, like a full online game.
Like Red Dead Redemption or GTA style online?
Yeah, where you can make
that
factions.
Would be awesome.
That would be cool.
That would be awesome. Where you could have like basically your own little clan or whatever on Assassin's Creed. That would be sick. In your own launch, yes. Sign me up. Sign me up.
Dude, only
if it's Valhalla.
One thing that upset me is that they released an Assassin's Creed, I think it was on the PSP, that literally was based off the French Quarter, like around New Orleans and stuff. I was so pissed that did not come to console. I was like, come on. Like, I want to see the.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it, but I know the one you're talking about. I
played
it.
Yeah, it was like the French Quarter, New Orleans. I was like, man, why couldn't they show that on freaking console?
Which one was that?
I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it was like an assassin that had like a mask in front of him, and
he had like a Mardi Gras mask.
Yeah, I was like, bro,
I know which one you're talking. This might be a Mandela effect right here, but I know which one you're talking about.
All right, so we got 2 questions here. One from Little Nightmare saying, out of all the games you stream, what is your favorite game? Little Nightmare here getting the clutch questions right here.
Ooh, okay, hold on. Out of all the ones I've streamed, or
yeah, he said out of all
the ones I've streamed.
Out of all the games you stream, which one is your favorite?
Probably.
That's a difficult question. That's why I said he's coming to question the questions.
I feel like I should just go get him and let him do this for me.
I think Harry, I enjoyed Hogwarts Legacy. I enjoyed streaming that. That was fun to do with my community, especially when I got man, I was out there murking everybody. Mm-hmm. But oh man, maybe Fallout 4.
Fallout is fun. That's actually a fun game to stream.
Because even though like I love streaming and playing Fortnite, and that's like one of my biggest games that I play, I feel like I enjoy streaming more of like the single player storylines where myself and my community can get invested into this together. And more specifically when it's a first playthrough of a game. Like Poppy's Playtime. Now I changed my mind. That's the top one. Poppy's Playtime. I had to take breaks from that game because I don't do scary movies. I don't do horror games. Poppy's Playtime. My community requested it, and I was like, look, if we hit a certain sub goal, I'll play Poppy's Playtime, and I'll do a playthrough of all 3 episodes, right? Well, it turned to do from 1 6-hour stream into like 3 days because I had to take breaks and switch to something else. I was like, hey, if I end playing this game, I'm going to have nightmares, y'all. Like, at the time I was streaming from 3 a.m. It was like, yo, I'm not going to bed at 3 a.m. after playing Poppy's Playtime. That's not happening.
Right.
That was a fun game to stream, though.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you remember this, but I remember that we were talking at the table, like we were actually all eating at that. I think it was like that ramen place or whatever, like that Nicky suggested or whatever we went to. I think it was. I don't know if you were there for that one.
I think I took a veto on that one.
Okay, because I mean,
I don't remember eating ramen with y'all.
Okay, because I mean, we actually were talking about going to a Saw escape room in Vegas, and I was like, dude, if I
we should have done that. That's my favorite movie, bro. I dressed up as freaking Jigsaw for Halloween.
I was gonna say, like, if you're that scared, I was gonna say, like, we need to get him in this so that way he can panic.
I pissed myself in there.
Y'all did see where they did the.
You put that real life.
You guys did see where they did a real life like Five Nights at Freddy's thing, right?
I didn't know that.
Oh hell no, bro! I'm terrified of mascots. No sir.
Wait, if you're terrified of mascots, then why?
No sir.
Why you didn't get scared of my shark costume then?
We went. Because I didn't see it in person, bro.
But if you see it in person,
I'll tell you what. You will never see me in a picture with any Disney character at Disneyland. I have a whole album of where we went to Disneyland this past year. The only people next to them characters are my daughters and my wife. Not I.
You were the one taking the pictures. You were the one. You're the one taking the pictures.
Yeah, don't come near me.
All right. So Frank Memes here asked, "How does it feel to be on Frank Memes' team for tournaments?" Ooh, this guy.
He wants to listen. He wants to bring that up. We should just call me the coach of the year. I am like the I should just scout for players because I put together a dream team that just couldn't clutch an easy W. That's all I'm saying. They go from winning to third place.
Damn. All right.
That's his team. Mm-hmm. That's not my team.
All right. So another question that I have, I mean, it's very simple. I mean, it's not like, something that is going to make you think. What is the go-to meal for Heathen every day if you had one?
Ooh, ramen.
Really?
Them ramen noodle cups. What I say? Yeah, I love that. Doctor them up, bro. You put some like little baby corns in there, some bamboo shoots, and like, yeah, you just doctor it up. I love them ramen cups.
Dude, you ever tried an actual? You ever tried an actual garlic soy ramen bowl?
Do you like the actual ramen from like a restaurant?
Yeah.
Or
like an actual
the microwavable ramen bowl?
No, like the actual restaurant. Because if you have
absolutely.
Okay.
That's my favorite.
Okay, so
I couldn't have that every day though. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's expensive.
They have this ramen house right next to my to where I live and everything. So if you ever come down to Louisiana and we actually hang out, I'm treating you there, dude. Because dude, it's just ramen. Like it's a house that just has ramen, nothing else.
Okay,
yeah, I love it.
Do they have udon?
Like number 2.
Do they have udon style ramen?
They have both.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good with this. I'll come down and hang out.
Because
I'm also a pho addict.
They have
but it's hard to find.
They have a ramen bowl called the Cajun over here. That basically is like a Cajun ramen bowl, but they add boiled crawfish. They add all kind of like like fishes and everything. But my goodness, dude, like once you finish it, you're like, I want seconds. Please give me seconds.
They should put gator in it.
They probably do, and he just don't want to tell us.
I don't know. But anyways, all right.
That would be good. Gator and crawfish.
Oh, fried alligator is actually delicious. I don't care what anybody says. Fried alligator is delicious. I like it. And frog legs. Frog legs are good. Anyways, all right.
Oh, I love meat. It tastes just like chicken.
All right, Nightmare, what you got?
Okay, so we've kind of talked about like the Assassin's Creed games, the horror games, and all that. What exactly do you like to do away from streaming, away from gaming? What's your like go-to hobby away from that?
Fishing.
Really?
Fishing.
See that?
The boys have seen. The boys have seen a couple of my most recent catches. I caught me a nice 5-pound bass the other day.
Ooh.
I caught 2. Both the rainbow trout together. Granted, I can't take too much credit because it was at like this like trout pond where they stock it and you pay per pound of the fish. So, but I had been there. A little backstory of it. It's the same trout pond that my dad took me to like 15, 20 years ago when I was about my daughter's age. So I wanted a side-by-side picture of me at 4 years old at this pond and then my daughter at 4 at this pond, fishing at the same pond. So that's basically why we went out there. But I caught 7 pounds of trout and 2 fish. So those are pretty hefty. And then I caught a 15-pound catfish. So fishing is like
So that's like your all-time favorite hobby that you like to do. Like if you're not streaming, if you're not spending time with your family and everything, you just like a relaxing fishing day with no bothers.
Oh no, my daughter has to be there. It's more like it's turned into a family thing. Like if my kid, I don't like fishing by myself. So. It's pretty boring going by yourself.
Well, you know what?
So if my kids and my wife's not there,
it's
not as fun.
If you ever go fishing, I'll make sure to be on my shark costume in that pond, and I'll make sure to yank your
I'll catch you. You'll be my greatest catch.
I'll be in the costume. I'll be like, Heathen, selfie in the costume. Come on, come here, come here.
Don't be mad if you end up taxidermied.
Oh my gosh. All right, so we're actually gonna go to our commercial break that we have here, and we'll be back with a couple more questions. Feel free to follow the channel as well, guys, because I mean, who knows, I mean, you could be interviewed like just Heathen here. I mean, Heathen, like, has been streaming for like a good bit, but I mean, we always like to promote everybody here, like not just like your average streamers. I mean everybody, like big streamers, small streamers, anybody can get an interview. But right now, I don't know if you know this, Heathen, but we're actually booked until 2026.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
that's amazing. That's what I like to hear. Y'all better you better subscribe to the channel. You know what to do.
Well, basically, like we never take like donations or anything. But I mean, anything that basically like people donate through PayPal or anything like that, it goes directly to the podcast to like make it better. And basically, like if we want to do a giveaway as well, like we'll put it towards a giveaway, because we have a planned giveaway that we don't not want to say on stream yet. It's gonna be till next year. So, and the one that's actually come up with the idea is the guy that's right here. He's the one that actually organized it. So, we'll be back after this commercial, and stay tuned for more questions. All right, and we're back. We're still with Nike Nightmare, surprisingly. I mean, hey, any little cent we'll take. I mean, that's awesome. The fact that hey, run this commercial, you get a few little cents for this.
That's true.
All right. So, another question that I have as well. You talked about your hobbies. You talk about streaming. You talked about a little bit of your personal life and everything. What was Heathen's life before he became a family man?
Y'all don't even want to know.
That's the point of an interview. That's the point of an interview.
Oh, man. Okay, I was not prepared for that question.
That's the thing about the podcast. You have to be unprepared because you never know what we ask here.
So, yeah, all right. So we'll definitely keep it PG. Mm-hmm. Let's just say I was a knucklehead. It took me having my first daughter and then being married and having my first daughter to really calm me down and realize, you need to stop being so reckless. Like I was one of those dudes that would do 90-mile-an-hour wheelies down the highway.
Ooh,
wow. Yeah, I did freestyle motocross. I raced dirt bikes. I was in a medically induced coma for a couple of months because of racing dirt bikes. I got pretty muffed up. Mm-hmm. So I was just wild.
So basically, you're trying to say that you were
just wild.
So basically, what you're trying to say is that you were reckless back then, and when you actually
absolutely
when you actually got married, you basically settled down and you're like, you know what? It's time to grow up. It's time to actually be a responsible adult, be a man, work, be there for my wife and kid. And
yeah, exactly. I had, it's a shame that I look back and I say it like this, but I had like zero regard for my own life. I just didn't care. We was at 90 miles an hour on the highway. Come on. Stupid.
Hey, but I mean,
PSA, kids, don't do it.
Don't do it. No, but I've seen some terrible accidents because of people doing reckless stuff on motorcycles, and it's never just minor stuff. Like one of my really good friends lost his leg. I've had my uncle killed on a motorcycle. So if you're ever on a bike, there's two types of riders. Ones that have gone down and those that will. And you should always ride for the slide because, again, going back to the previous statement, there's two kinds of riders.
Well, sometimes so
just prepare.
Sometimes life takes us by but like it just takes it, like we actually like we're like, wow, this happened to me, and you get a learning experience from that, and you're like, I'm never gonna do that again. Or if you witness somebody doing something, you're like, hey, I shouldn't do that. Like, when things like that happen, you learn from that and you become a better person.
Well, at least I hope you learn from it.
No, I mean, I basically, like,
some people don't.
I'm about to be 36 in 2 weeks, and literally, like, my life has been a roller coaster, I would say. A couple of things, Nightmare. A couple of things as well, Heathen. And
yes, sir.
I basically learned that at the end of the day, you should only worry about yourself and the people that is close to you, and basically, like, learn to know how to read people, like, learn how to actually know what kind of person you're actually talking to and everything. Like, always keep your eyes open, because you never know who actually, like, you're meeting in person. I mean, to be honest, last year when I met y'all in person and everything, I was scared shitless at first. I was like, shit, I'm gonna meet a couple people that I've met online, and I was a little nervous. But then when I actually hang out with y'all, it was like the best thing that ever happened. But I mean, it could have been a flip of a coin. It could have been bad,
Yeah, I'm not as scary as you thought I was in person, huh?
But no, I mean,
who's this Heathen guy?
Who's this guy that prepared us food? My goodness.
Right.
But basically, like, that's one thing I always tell myself, like, when I see experiences from my siblings and everything, I'm like, you know what, if they're doing that and it is wrong, then I shouldn't do that. I should do the opposite from that. But all right, so Nightmare, what you got now?
So this is really the last question I had. As one family man to another, because ironically my kids asked you a couple questions in here. What would you say, like, do you have your kids go on stream with you from time to time?
No, I keep it. So my oldest, she's 4. I don't mind if she comes in there and she's like, hi, or what's up real quick. But I do my very best to try to separate my streaming life from, like, my personal life, because in my in light of recent events that we've all seen on Twitter, you never know who's watching or what their intent is, and I'm just overly protective over my daughters, so I'm just like, nah, you can stay off stream. Nobody needs to really see you.
Yeah, I've let mine on stream, but my youngest is 7, so like, I'm always right there. I'm watching everything. Yeah. Like, there's nothing that gets past me on that one.
Let's just say Nightmare literally will take off.
Once she learns how to play Fortnite, I'll probably let her, like, come here, kid, hop in here and show me what daddy taught you or something like that.
Hey, you never know. She might be the next Fortnite champ. You never know.
Hey, she might. The recent one was like 11, 12 years old, so.
That's awesome, though. I mean,
you never know, bro.
Well, I mean, basically, like, what I was trying to say is, like, when Nightmare has his kid, he literally would take out the sunglasses and be like, I'm watching everything like a hawk. Whatever you do, I'm watching every little thing you're doing. If you're doing something wrong, I'll come up there and be like, hey, what's wrong with you? That's how he is with his kid. I don't have kids, but I do have 4 nieces. And let me tell you, when they come hang out with me over here, it's a chaotic mess. Like, all the time, like, can we be on the mic? Can we be on? I'm like, no, I'm doing my thing. Oh, come on, we want to be on the camera. Thing. Yeah, like, I just basically, I'm just like you. Yeah. I don't like them to be on my stream time, and they can go do whatever they want, but don't come when I'm doing stream time. You can come hang out with me when I'm playing games offline, but I mean, if I'm streaming, don't come interrupt, because I mean, I don't want you to get, like, see what the internet is about just yet. So we have a question from
exactly. And for me, like, me streaming is my personal time. That's also, like, how I unwind and relax. So it's like, again, so I like separating the two.
All right, so we got a question here from
and these people have come by in their golf cart 4 times.
We have a question here from Mama Heathen. She says, if you could go back in time, what advice would you give your beginner self regarding streaming? Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh, that's a fire question, babe. Good job. Don't take it too serious.
I always tell a lot of newcomers that don't basically take it too seriously, because I have one of my best friends who's the co-owner of my Discord. He always says like, man, I only average 1 to 2 viewers, and usually me and my fiance. I'm like, well, dude, you realize that there's some people that have 0, they have nobody, and they still do it. You need to calm yourself.
Exactly. Don't take it too serious.
Yeah. I had to even give a speech at a high school a couple years ago. That my friend basically was like, hey, can you come give the speech on streaming to my kids, because they're literally don't understand how streaming works, and you're the one that knows how to do all this. You know how to get them down from the clouds and everything. I was like, sure, why not? I'll go talk to them. I had to talk in front of freaking 35 people, Heathen. 35 fucking high school kids.
Yep, nope, that's a no for me, dog. I don't do public speaking.
I didn't mind it, but I mean, was I nervous? I admit, yes, I was. But I mean, go ahead.
See, when you've been doing this long enough, like, you kind of get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we joke around all the time that, like, he's been affiliate longer than I have, but I've been doing this longer than he has, in all honesty.
Mm-hmm.
I still learn things from him, but
See, the difference.
What's up?
Oh, the difference is
you're disconnecting a little bit.
I can't take a break.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is public speaking. I can't take a break and go talk to Bob Marley and come back. Streaming, I can.
True that.
There's a difference.
Streaming, we can.
Mm-hmm.
Public speaking, you're not supposed to do that.
That's frowned upon.
It's like, excuse me, let me go to the back real quick. You basically walk that down the stage, and they're like, okay, I'm back now. What now?
Yeah, right. I'm not Snoop Dogg, bro. I can't get away with that shit.
All right, so we're actually getting to the really fun part of the stream real shortly, with when we ask out of nowhere questions, and we end up with a random question that Nightmare loves for me to ask every single one on my guests. But before I ask that though, what is your favorite type of drink to drink? Not alcohol, but I'm saying, like, like Pepsi, soda, like, what is like your all-time favorite?
If we're talking about soda, it's going to be Dr. Pepper.
Ooh.
But drink overall,
Mm-hmm.
yerba mate, like natural energy tea.
Ooh.
I love tea.
Tea
I love tea.
You ever had
tea?
You ever
hot
had
tea, cold tea?
You ever had a mango and strawberry tea?
I have. I actually have some really good, like, mango fruity tea that Nicky had sent me.
Mm-hmm.
It's really freaking good.
Hey, that's a person that I always love to give a shout out to. I give a shout out to our freaking editor, dude. Shout out to Nicky for always editing the podcast. I know he's watching somewhere behind stage, like, we might not see him and everything, but he's always like a ninja watching over, like, everything, making sure the podcast is running well. And then he texts me like, hey, turn up your mic, you're kind of low. Or, hey, you had the wrong, you had like the whole podcast muted, so you had to start over again.
Or he forgets to turn on the desktop audio and nobody else has heard but him.
That's happened.
Oh, that's funny.
That's happened a couple times. Speaking of Nicky, look, I told you he was actually lurking here and being like a ninja here. Shout out to you, my friend, for being an amazing editor. You've been around with us
Nicky?
For a while. But anyways, all right. Are you ready for these what the fuck questions we have ready for you?
I mean, yes.
Okay. So last time I started with the random out of the blue questions, so now I'm gonna let my co-host start his. So by all means, go for it.
All right, we're gonna get the fun one out of the way. Because you do like outdoor stuff with fishing. I'm assuming you enjoy camping as well. Do you prefer camping in a tent or in like a building, like a camper, RV?
I do glamping. It's an RV now, bro. 9 years active duty. I don't camp in the tent no more.
Fair enough. I still like the tent even after active duty, but
I will. Air conditioning. Can you tell? That's working.
He's kind of lagging a little bit.
Yeah, I got the gist of what he was saying though.
I want a glam. I need the RV.
All right. So, would you rather breathe underwater or be invisible?
Aquaman, bro. I'd be invisible.
You're like, I'm not Aquaman. I want to go invisible. Why? So you can sneak up.
I'm not Aquaman, bro.
Why? So you can sneak up behind me and be like, "Hola." You're like, what?
That's not that.
Yeah. Sneak up behind you.
I'm like, what the hell? So far, everyone seems to love being invisible. Me personally, I would love to breathe underwater just because I love exploring the ocean.
It's the ultimate troll move. You go invisible, you walk up behind somebody, and you just whisper in their ear and watch them run.
Just blow. Just go. Just blow in their ear.
All right, what you got, Nightmare?
Okay, so pizza or wings? Which one do you go to first?
That's a tough one for him.
Wings.
Oh,
Flats on
oh
wings.
wow. Okay, so last week was pizza, right? Our guest had pizza.
Yeah, last week was pizza.
Yeah, so now we got wings. Okay. All right. Now here's a follow-up to that. Do you prefer pineapples on pizza? Yes or no?
Do I prefer it? No. Will I eat it? Yes.
Okay.
It's all about what toppings, man.
No, but
Really what it is.
whatever you guys have in your mind, pineapples do not belong in pizza. I'm sorry. They do not belong. It's a freaking fruit.
It depends on how much me and Bob Marley have talked before I'll eat said pineapple on pizza.
Oh, Lord. All right. So, all right, Nightmare, what you got? I already asked my question.
Okay, donuts or bagels? Which one do you prefer?
Man, neither.
Ooh.
I guess bagels. I don't like donuts. I'm not a cake person, so anything doughy, like the texture really bothers me. I don't eat crunchy bread, so most bagels taste terrible if they're not toasted. You know what I mean? So then it's yeah.
I did find a French toast bagel that actually tastes really good untoasted.
All right. So
interesting.
All right. So here's.
I need an English muffin bagel.
English muffin. All right. So this is a new one for Nightmare. Never heard me ask this. Would you rather actually fall asleep in a regular bed or a water bed?
Bro, no, regular bed.
Okay, the better question to this is he actually slept in a waterbed.
Those are comfy. I like those.
Actually slept in a waterbed, and they're terrible, bro.
They're
waterbeds should have never been created.
No, I love waterbeds. I personally love waterbeds.
Pre-military, I could have done it easily. After being in, no, I can't do it anymore.
All right, Nightmare, what you got?
Give me my pillow top mattress, please.
Oh yeah. All right. So, what's the scarier thing for you? Flying sharks, like sharks just flying through the air, or tigers with the ability to breathe underwater?
Damn. That question always gets me. I'm like, damn, I cannot choose either.
Question: Can I hunt said flying tiger or flying shark?
Yes.
Would they be?
You could go after both of them. You could go after both of them, but they are going to hunt you back.
I'm not catching a tiger. I'm not catching a tiger. No. I've caught sharks. They're not that scary when they come out the water. But if it's flying and I got a shotgun, say less.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, terrifying. I'm not catching a swimming tiger. A tiger, no. Does it have both its front paws, and then like a mer tiger, where like the back half is like a shark-ish thing?
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing about sharks is that they're only, attacking if they feel threatened. That's the thing about sharks.
If they feel threatened, or if they've been starved for a long period of time.
Mm-hmm. But most of the time, they basically, if you if they sense that you actually feel terrified and stuff like that, that's when they can attack you because they feel like that you're terrified of them. All right.
I won't be scared if I got a shotgun and a flying shark.
All right.
That's some good meat too.
Oh my gosh.
It is.
All right. So this is actually a very interesting question. It's not the final question yet, Nightmare, because after this is your question and then it's the final question. All right. So you're in the middle of the woods and you're basically heading home and you have two paths to choose and you have no weapons, no nothing like to defend yourself. If you go one path to the left, you'll face a one bear-sized goose. If you go to the right, you'll face 100 goose-sized bears before you go home. Like both lead home, but you have to take one of the paths. Otherwise, you can't go home.
A goose-sized bear or a bear-sized goose. That is terrifying. I think I'm gonna take the bear-sized goose, bro.
Yeah, because the other one is 100 goose-sized bears. Not one, it's 100.
No way. Oh, yeah, no way.
So you take the goose on?
I'll take the goose on, bro.
And then, like, literally choke his neck and then be like, hey, honey, I got dinner.
Exactly.
I got some
I'll kick a bear cup. I'm just kidding.
The good thing,
look, man, if it gets me away from that goose, I'm going against the bears, man. I don't care.
No, wow.
Exactly.
Plus, I just have to go to the little creek right there, grab a fish out, throw it in the middle, and just watch them all go after the fish. I'll be fine.
All right. So you have one more question, Nightmare. Go for it.
Okay. So Pepsi or Coke? We got to know. Pepsi or Coke?
He said he drinks Dr. Pepper, though. Coke, really?
There's it's Coke. I don't like Pepsi products except for Mountain Dew.
The better question is Dr. Pepper or Mr. Pibb?
Ooh.
Raise the stakes here. Raise the stakes here.
See, that's the problem, though, is like they taste so similar. It's hard to pick just one.
I told you that I had to come. As soon as you said Pepsi or Coke, I was like, okay, I have to get on this.
Ooh, yeah, Dr. Pepper though.
Tastes like medicine, though.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, have you had the like cherry Dr. Pepper?
I had every single Dr. Pepper that is out there, and they all taste like medicine.
Cherry Dr. Pepper tastes amazing.
See, even Franks agrees with me. He's like, both are gross. Ha! Oh my gosh.
Frank, you have no say. You call things pop.
All right. So here's
I got the snack ready. Let's go.
All right. So this question always gets everybody like scratching their heads. So, throughout your whole life, have you eaten cereal or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you pour the cereal first and then the milk, or you pour the milk first and then the cereal?
You're barbaric if you pour the milk first.
All right, then I'm full barbaric. Then you're talking to a full barbaric.
If that milk hits that bowl before the cereal, you're a barbarian.
Well, then I guess I'm a barbarian. Then.
No.
This man puts milk before cereal, and I am still trying to figure out how he does it.
It depends on how much cereal. It's depending on how much milk.
Exactly.
You put the milk first. What if I don't want that much cereal? I'm not. Bro, no, stop.
Oh my god.
No, we going with bowl one. How do you sit there and put milk before cereal?
All right. So back to the goose question. Did you know, Heathen, that one of the guests here that we had before in the podcast actually told us a theory about geese? He said that if you point a green laser pointer at their feet, they get intimidated and they run the other way. So you don't have to.
I have a green laser.
You do? If you have a green laser.
And it's almost Canadian geese season.
The geese are finally coming back out. I saw one of them a couple days ago, but I didn't have my laser pointer with me. I didn't have anybody to record.
I'm gonna walk to the lake.
We're gonna be doing this
later, and I'm gonna see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over to this lake. There's some geese over here for sure.
You need to go and do a TikTok on it, and literally, like, you know, tag me and be like, "Hey, here's the theory." See if it works.
All right, we're gonna try. I'm gonna find a goose, bro. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
The better question is, what happens if they stick their head into the dirt with it like an ostrich?
Oh.
I think I would end up with dinner because I would snap that neck. That goose's neck is not made for that.
All right, ladies and gents. This actually about wraps the Reef podcast for today. Thank you so much for everybody that came support Heathen. If you haven't followed him already, his name is on the title. Please give him a follow on Twitch and all his socials on his profile. He's going to be making a comeback to streaming soon. We're excited to actually have him back on streaming because I enjoy playing with the guy, like Fortnite, all kind of games. We're actually going to be playing some X-Defiant today for the first time, actually, later today. So that's going to be really enjoyable. Shout outs to NickyD, our editor. Shout outs to all of you guys that came from Hype Unit, from Rio, from Twitch, from all the platforms out there. And in case you missed this episode, don't you worry. We'll be having this episode soon on YouTube, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeart Radio, and all the above platforms that are on the ticker. So on behalf of me, Luis IPA, I'm signing off here. Nightmare, Heathen, it's been a pleasure. I hope you guys have a good week. And we'll be seeing y'all next week. And also, happy 4th of July if you live in America. As always, today's episode of the Reef podcast was streamed live on Twitch. If you could not make it to the live stream of the podcast, you can always listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and iHeart Radio. Thanks for listening. See you next time.